I just checked my bank account and realized I've been paying for 3 gym memberships I haven't used in 8 months. But that's not even the scary part. Let me show you something that made my stomach drop last Tuesday. I sat down with a spreadsheet, something I've been avoiding for months, and started adding up what I call my invisible expenses. You know, those small monthly charges that feel harmless. The streaming services, the productivity apps, the subscriptions I signed up for during that motivated phase last January. The total? Over $2,000 in the last year alone, for things I barely remember exist. And here's the truly disturbing part. I'm not broke. I'm not irresponsible. I earn decent money. I show up to work. I consider myself pretty smart about most things. Yet somehow, I've been hemorrhaging cash for months without even noticing the bleeding. If you're sitting there thinking, that could never be me, I need you to pause right now and actually check. Because I guarantee you're wrong. And this isn't about judging you or making you feel bad. This is about something much bigger that nobody wants to talk about. Something that's keeping smart, hard-working people stuck in the same place, despite earning more than they ever have. Most people don't fail loudly with money. They don't wake up one day completely bankrupt because of a single catastrophic decision. That's not how financial failure happens for most of us. Instead, we drift. We wake up tired despite sleeping 8 hours. We work incredibly hard, sometimes at jobs we don't even hate. We earn more money than we did 5 years ago, maybe even double or triple. Yet we feel strangely, frustratingly stuck in the exact same position. Same financial pressure keeping us awake at night. Same anxiety when unexpected expenses appear. Same "I'll finally fix this next year" promise we make to ourselves every January 1st. I didn't notice this pattern in my own life for years. My income was steadily improving. I was getting raises, taking on freelance projects, building my career exactly like I was supposed to. But my actual life, my daily experience, my sense of freedom, completely unchanged. If anything, I felt more trapped than before. If effort alone created financial freedom, this wouldn't be happening to so many smart, capable, hard-working people. So what's really going on here? It's not intelligence, because brilliant people struggle with this constantly. It's not discipline, because disciplined people who exercise daily and build successful careers still find themselves in this trap. And it's definitely not laziness, because the people I'm talking about work harder than almost anyone I know. It's something much more insidious. It's a quiet trap that builds gradually from invisible skill gaps nobody teaches us, emotional money habits we inherited without questioning, and tiny daily leaks of time, attention, and cash that happen so smoothly we don't feel them until years have passed. This is something no parent, school, or college ever teaches properly. That's precisely why most people never see it coming until it's already been draining them for a decade. The foundation built on lies. Most of us grew up absorbing the same basic script about how life works. Study hard and you'll succeed. Get qualified with the right degrees and certificates. Get a stable job with benefits. Be responsible, which mostly means don't make waves and do what you're told. Repeat this cycle for 40 years. Retire. This system was designed brilliantly for one thing: survival. But here's what nobody mentioned. Today, survival is just the baseline. It's the starting point, not the destination. Progress, actual forward movement, genuine freedom. That's the real challenge in modern life. Your income can grow consistently while your freedom doesn't budge an inch. Your salary can increase by 30% while your stress level stays identical or gets worse. Because the real problem destroying people financially isn't lack of effort. It's where your money, time, and attention quietly disappear to when no one, including you, is watching closely. It's the slow leak that happens in the background while you're busy being responsible and working hard. The tax nobody talks about. There's a silent tax that most people pay every single month without realizing it exists. Not to the government or any official institution, to comfort, to the illusion of productivity, to the feeling of being connected and informed and entertained. Subscriptions you barely touch anymore but keep just in case. Apps you forgot you're paying for that auto-renew quietly. OTT platforms where you scroll endlessly for 30 minutes trying to pick something to watch, never actually resting. News feeds that create constant anxiety but somehow feel necessary to stay informed. Courses you bought during a motivated moment and saved for later but never opened. Online tools that promise to change your life but sit unused. Each one looks completely harmless in isolation. Paying $5 here and $10 there feels manageable. A subscription for $8 monthly feels smaller than a single coffee. So we don't really track it. We don't think about it consciously. But here's what that actually means when you do the math properly. Let's say you have just 5 small subscriptions at $10 each monthly. Feels minor, right? That's $50 a month, $600 a year, $6,000 over a decade. And most people have way more than 5 if they actually counted everything. But that's still just the surface level problem. The money itself isn't even the real cost here. The actual cost is your attention, your mental energy, your clarity of thought. You're not just paying money monthly. You're paying a deeper price to stay perpetually distracted from the life you keep saying you want to build. Most people don't consciously waste money on purposeless things. What actually happens is they waste attention on things that feel productive but aren't, and money naturally follows that wasted attention. The income trap. Here's something that sounds wrong but is absolutely true. People don't stay broke primarily because they earn too little. They stay broke because they build zero assets and leak constantly in ways they've normalized. A salary is not wealth, no matter how impressive the number looks. It's temporary cash flow that stops the moment you stop working. A brand new car isn't an asset if it only takes money from you through payments, insurance, maintenance, and depreciation. A house isn't wealth if it only generates endless EMI payments, repair costs, and property taxes without producing income. These are expenses dressed up to look like achievements. Real wealth is built exclusively by things that earn or grow while you're not physically present and working. Skills that get paid repeatedly because people need what you can do. Investments that compound quietly in the background without requiring your daily attention. Assets that don't demand constant effort but keep producing value. Systems that work whether you show up or not. The wealthy don't ask, "What can I buy with this money?" when they have extra cash. They ask, "How can this money multiply itself?" That single question difference creates completely different life trajectories over time. The real driver behind your wallet. Most spending decisions are not logical at all when you examine them honestly. They're deeply emotional. We don't actually buy things for their practical function. We buy feelings, states of mind, identities we want to inhabit. We buy the feeling of relief when we're overwhelmed. We buy validation when we feel invisible. We buy distraction when we're avoiding something difficult. We buy the illusion of control when life feels chaotic. A new phone for the confidence boost and status signal. A subscription to feel like a productive person who invests in themselves. Another purchase to feel ahead of where we were yesterday. That's precisely why raises don't fix financial stress in most people's lives. When income increases, lifestyle expenses expand to match it almost immediately. That's called lifestyle inflation, and it's silent and automatic for most people. But the underlying anxiety? That stays exactly the same, or increases, because now there's more to lose, more to maintain, more to worry about protecting. If emotions stay unmanaged and unconscious, no amount of income will ever feel like enough. The hole has no bottom because it's emotional, not financial. The difference that creates everything. Busy people constantly add more to their lives, more subscriptions for productivity, more commitments to look successful, more activities to feel valuable. They mistake motion for progress and exhaustion for achievement. Dangerous people, the ones who actually break free, do the opposite. They ruthlessly cut. They ask uncomfortable questions that most people avoid. What am I currently paying for that isn't paying me back in any form? What feels completely normal in my life, but is actually keeping me average? What drains time consistently without improving my future in any measurable way? Then they systematically remove things. Useless subscriptions that serve no purpose. Endless scrolling that produced nothing but stolen hours. Low-return commitments that looked good but went nowhere. Work and projects that don't compound or build toward anything larger. Relationships that drain energy without reciprocity. After removing the noise, they focus intensely on building one unfair advantage. Just one. A skill that few people have mastered. An asset that produces income. A system that works automatically. Not 10 vague goals that sound impressive. One specific advantage that creates leverage. That's how real leverage gets built in life. Quietly, boringly, unglamorously, effectively. Freedom doesn't disappear suddenly in one dramatic moment. It leaks out slowly, one small decision at a time that seemed harmless in isolation. The power of strategic stillness. In investing and in life, stillness is genuine power. Most people lose money not because they chose terrible investments initially, but because they react emotionally to normal market movements. They buy during excitement when prices are high. They panic sell during fear when prices are low. They constantly tinker and adjust instead of letting time do its work. Compounding rewards patience far more than intelligence. Money grows best when you don't need it desperately yet, when you can leave it alone for years. This applies to skills too. Mastery comes from sustained focus, not jumping between trending topics. Start investing early, even if small. Start today, not when you earn more first. Stay consistent through boring stretches. Waiting to earn more before you begin is precisely how most people miss their best compounding years, when time is the biggest advantage they'll ever have. Your next move. Before you close this and move on to the next video, do one specific thing right now. Open your banking app or credit card statement. Find one subscription you haven't genuinely used in the last 30 days. Cancel it today, not tomorrow. Then redirect that money, even if it's just $5 or $10 weekly, towards something that actually compounds over time. An index fund that grows automatically. A mutual fund with consistent returns. A skill course that increases your earning ability. An asset or tool that pays you back with time or money. Insight without immediate action just fades into more forgotten information. Small action, repeated consistently, changes your identity and your life trajectory. The question you need to sit with: if someone audited your entire life today, examining your bank statements, your subscriptions, your screen time reports, how you spend your attention and energy, what would they discover? Would the data show a systematic approach building toward freedom? Or would it reveal a lifestyle quietly financing distraction and comfort while freedom gets pushed to someday? Be brutally honest with yourself, because 5 years from now, most people who watch this video will vaguely remember agreeing with these ideas. Maybe they'll nod along, maybe they'll share it with someone else, but they won't actually do anything differently. A few people will remember acting immediately, will remember that uncomfortable moment when they cancelled subscriptions and redirected money, will remember choosing to build something instead of just consuming more content about building. That distance between these two groups is built quietly, starting with small decisions made right now. The gap between where you are and where you want to be isn't created by one massive failure. It's created by hundreds of tiny leaks you've normalized. Stop the bleeding, start building. Your future self is counting on the decision you make in the next 5 minutes.